this is the bonus video, if you will. And I am showing you now what I believe to be the proper way to format these worksheets so that it will not affect your grade based on what you've already submitted, or comments or whatever. The other things we didn't affect your grade either. It's just that you likely got comments that conflicted with what I had already said to you. Doesn't mean it was wrong. Just means it wasn't according to the textbook. It's a longer explanation than that, but let's call that good. So if this were me and it were my form and I was submitting it to my boss or my company or my stockholders, I would select those two sheets. I would select, this is my favorite little triangle up here because it selects everything. And I would say all black. Color is for children and websites, not for professional business documents. I don't really like either one of those fonts, and since a professional business document, unless your company has a specific standard font for all documents, in which case use that. Otherwise, use the most professional font in your opinion, as long as it's up to you. So I would say, I'm a big fan of Arial Narrow lately. I'm not sure why, but that's probably what I would use. You can use all kinds of Arial in this document. Arial Narrow, Arial Rounded Bold, Arial Black, and plain old Arial. Let's do Arial Narrow. Then let's just make this Arial Black. Still in the same font family, but it looks a little bit different. And since it's a heading, why the heck not? I'd probably make that a little bigger, to be honest. And let's see what we've got here. We got 11. Yeah, that's okay. I would make sure that these are all selected and left aligned. And then I would take this title. Oh, I hope I didn't mess anything up by doing that on the next sheets. That's one of the pitfalls of having things selected, but I'll check that in a minute. I would select these cells, and then I would say Format, Center Across Selection. Let's see how it looks on the other sheet. Nice. Luckily, I didn't screw anything up. Perfect. So our documents are no longer our sheets are no longer selected, which is fine because we're done with what goes together. So I would select both of these. Both of these headings. Center them. I don't like the division here, so I would take this column and just make it a little more narrow, so that, oh, you can't make it more narrow. Okay, so I would do this. Just because space is not an option, I would probably do it like this. And then fit it. No, that doesn't look right either. Okay, so let's try this. Like I always say, it really is subjective. So that kind of means it's up to you. And if it looks professionally acceptable to you, then call it good, unless you have rules that dictate otherwise. I didn't like the way that looked, and I would probably keep messing with it until I did, just because that's what I do. Hopefully, halfway through the semester as we are, you have a little idea of who I am. And while some might consider those types of things to be anal, they're important to me because it's all about, well, it's like how you dress. It's all about image. And if your documents don't look professional, people don't perceive you as professional. Or you take the chance they won't perceive you as professional. So always put your best foot forward. My motto. Still not sure that I like that. I actually probably would do this. I think that looks better because it lines up with the numbers. But I would keep playing with it. And so this is all semantics, your opinion, what you like. Definitely, I would indent the total a little bit. I might even, well, yeah. I'd use accounting format on these, even though it's not an accounting document. It is applicable because it contains numbers and it has to do with performance in dollars. So, yeah, that's what I do. I would probably also do this. Oops. Let's see, Control Z, undo. Make this bigger so there's just a little, or insert a line, whatever you like. And most importantly, I would put the address, and 1234 Main Street is a standard generic address that you use when you don't have an address, when you just need a faux address, if you will. Anytown, US 99995. Okay, zip code. And then we're going to need to insert some more lines. Remember my trick about the heading. I'll remind you here in a second if you don't. I would also put company phone number, 916 555 1212, and that is a standard phone number for when you don't have a generic phone number, if you will. Headings are supposed to graduate down in size. So this is 22. I would select right here and just click down 2. Select right here, click down 2. Actually 4. Actually, this should be the same as the one above it, so back up on that one. So we have 22, 18, 18. That should be 18 as well. Maybe down to 16, up to you. And then I would select these 4 lines by clicking on the number. Format them to row auto fit. I think that because I'm recording, it is taking up resources on my computer. The most important thing that this sheet and all the sheets, in my opinion, are missing is that they have no title. Every worksheet should have a title. I understand that the columns are titled, but that's not a title for the sheet. So if it were me, and I could do anything I wanted, I would call this gross sales totals and predictions. Okay, so this is what my form would look like, and the way I check my forms always, in the olden days we said print preview, but Control P is the same, and that's page 1, that's page 2, and there shouldn't be a page 3, so I would hit escape and go back, and I would say set print area on all the sheets. If you click in that cell and hold shift and click in that, you get it all. Page layout, set print area. Go to the summary sheet and do the same. Only this time you go down. And I would say, probably right here. and then shift, page up, and set print area again. So hopefully, okay, well, so we need to reformat these. Anyway, as I said, formatting is an ongoing, never-ending process if you want your documents to look as perfect as possible. If you don't care, or if you have a set template to use, then it takes out a lot of the extra work. I personally love this part. Just because this particular form is so oddly spaced, what I would do if this were a real office and I had a superior to report to or present this report to, I would make it minimized like that, and then I would take these and I would manually adjust them so that they looked centered, because any of the automatic features are, it's just not happening. So I would just grab a hold of this little bad boy and move it like that, and look at that. That's damn close to centered. It's not, but it's damn close. So, oh, I shouldn't say damn. Okay, I'll have to cut that out. I would probably delete this column. And I would keep messing around with it until it looked good and centered, and that didn't work because it took away the heading. Anyway, I think you get the point. No color for children on websites, and make your document look professional as you can. I hope to see everybody tomorrow at the Sunday study session. Thanks.